YouTube land, this is Phoenix Dingo. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and please share and please like. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please help me get to 100 subs. All right. So, Elizabeth Warren is the one to beat. So I wanted to do a couple videos, one going over her policies and there's a few issues that are out there, so I wanted to discuss those. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into her a little bit. First things first, her website. I am actually a little bit shocked. It's pretty good. So much better than Biden's. I will say that some of her proposals, but we're gonna go through those. This right now, I'm gonna run over her universal child care early learning plan. So she wants to tax 2% over $50 million and 3% over $1 billion. Okay. She's saying that it's going to project to be 2.75 trillion over 10 years. She's going to tighten rules on estate tax, and she wants to enforce a 40% exit tax above $50 million for citizens who want to renounce their citizenship to save themselves money. I like that. People and businesses under 50 million pay zero in tax. Okay. Universal child care and early learning plan is the first point that I want to get to when it comes down to her plan. She wants to make it free or affordable for everyone. I think this is a great idea. I am not going to lie. I think it's a great idea. I have heard people who have had to pay 800 and up for childcare per month, which is pretty much rent, and it's ridiculous. Granted, the daycare place has to be able to pay their employees, certifications and stuff. I get it. I get it. However, that's so much money. I could imagine what a single person, a single mother, or a single father would be going through trying to pay for that. So I think it's a great idea. And then, of course, the early learning plan, bringing in teachers and people that can work with the children at a young age. At a young age, it's kind of like the developing point for their minds. And you can help establish patterns and behaviors, excuse me, that will stick with the child for life. So I think that is a brilliant idea. I'm huge when it comes down to education. I think it's amazing, and I think that it's important, especially when you're talking about some kids who are illiterate or don't have a good ability to read and write. So I think that's important, and that's an early way to get an indicator if a child has problems with that, so you can start addressing it at that point in time. So I think it's a great idea. But I do have some criticisms. One, $50 million, waiting to $50 million, that's questionable in my personal opinion. I think maybe, start at million, but, whatever. I'm not an economist, whatever, but 50 million just seems a little bit of a high bar. When it comes down to the universal child care and early learning plan, I think it's wonderful. However, one, this is great for single and two-parent homes of people that's working. However, it has one little to do with people with no kids. Not saying that it shouldn't happen, but when it comes down to where she's going to put the money, that's a certain sect. So I'm a little bit about that, although I do recognize it would help parents. Two, I would say it doesn't consider stay-at-home parent units. This still promotes people having to work. This promotes instead of having I come from, I had a stay-at-home mother. I had a father who was able to provide and a stay-at-home mother. I was one of those people that was privileged with that. So my experience, as I discussed before, is very different from a lot of the people that I know. Um, they would often talk about how they would come home, no one was there, they would have to make their own food. Um, they had things go on in their life, and their parents were not really there to talk to or get advice from, or even to monitor what they were doing. And it's no fault of the parent. Money needs to come into the home to take care of the children and to take care of the family, keep shelter, keep the lights on, food to eat. So I understand that it's important, and people are kind of in the position where they have to do this. And so I find it problematic simply because you're still pushing the mind frame of forcing people to work. And I feel like this is problematic because the kids aren't getting what they need and what they deserve, in my opinion. Um, yeah, both parents could choose to work if they want to, but the option should be there for a person to be in the home or at least work part time, but be able to be home when the children are home. I think that's one place that Andrew Yang's freedom dividend comes in and is helpful. If you have two parents in the home, that's going to bring in $24,000 a year. That is pretty much a full, I mean, that's what I made at my last job. So that's almost a full time job. So with that, a mother or father, we're in a new day, new age, equality, could stay home with the children, and they could be able to help build the blocks themselves. They could be able to be home when the kids are home. Uh, Problems that are going on with the child, you'll never know if you're not there, and if you're too tired to engage properly when you are there, I mean, like I said, I'm not shaming the parents. This is the reality of many people. So I don't feel like this plan totally takes into account the family aspect, the guiding aspect, the nurturing aspect. Because if the parent's not there to be able to foster different behaviors and mentalities, and they're not there to be able to provide guidance, someone else is going to do that. It could be kids at school that are negative. It could be people in the streets, which is a common story as well. If they're not there to be an influence, someone else is going to be. And I think that's part of the problem of what's going on right now. Um, It'll be harder to monitor what they're doing, you know? So I don't like that. I feel like Andrew Yang's plan with the dividend covers that and has a focus on the family, which I think is very important and something that's really lacking right now. Um, and I'm going to be doing, because she'd probably counter argue that she wants to do a $15 minimum wage, which would be enough to take care of the family. I will be doing a video on UBI, the Freedom Dividend, versus the $15 minimum wage, because I think that is important to take into account. I don't believe the $15 minimum wage is a good idea, and I will run over that in another video. But my storage only allows me to do about 10 minutes, so I don't have time to get in that. And then two, break it up so that, I don't have you sitting here all day. But basically, though, I do like some of the aspects of her program with this point. I don't like the constant narrative that both parents should have to work. I don't think that should be necessary. I think one person should be able to work and support their family. And I believe the best way of doing that is the freedom dividend. You might disagree with me, and that sounds great. Go ahead and put some comments down below. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. There's no reason for us to fight. We can talk about it. Give me your opinion. Throw some stuff down there, and let's chat it out. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you'll convince me to like Warren's little plan that she got going here. So let's get the discussion popping. And everyone have a good day. Please subscribe. Help me get to 100 subscribers. Y'all are awesome. Be positive. And Yang Gang 2020.